Shefsky here. Welcome to Fantasy House. Every week we have a different special guest give us an imaginary, thoughtful, personal tour through their fantasy house. The world's only not safe for work real estate podcast. Don't play this at church, temple, mosque. Don't play this at your job. Play this in the car. Play this, if you work at a tattoo shop or a construction site, sure, play it out loud. That's fine. But otherwise, this is NSFW. And it's just a ton of fun. Everyone gets creative and weird. We talk about people's sex lives, their food, their bathrooms, and all the interesting stuff when they tell us their personal houses. I can't recommend this podcast enough. It's also my podcast. And it's brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky. I'm your Southern California realtor. If you are looking for buying, selling, you want to know about why I love multifamily investment properties, or you're just curious about real estate in general, not for now during the pandemic, we can talk about it for, 2 years from now. Even if you want to start a 5-year plan, hit me up. Send me a message on fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com or send me an Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Why not? Life's short. Start investing your money and doing something cool with it in real estate. Don't just waste it on bullshit. Don't buy the new Celica. Buy a house. Rent out a room. Have an investment, dog. You mind if I call you dog? This week, my guest is just an awesome dude, great friend. We used to do a bunch of spots together and do comedy together when he lived in LA. Then he left me to go to New York, that bitch. But he's just doing big things out there, being hilarious, writing for Andrew Schulz show, the only amazing show on Instagram. He's one of the writers. Great stand-up comic, great dude. ROBBY SLOWIK is here, super stoked. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this!
Won't you take it all around over to your fantasy house? Your host where the most experience in your fantasy house. Get all the money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination.
I'm absolutely someone who will take no for an answer. If someone's like no, I'm like cool. Let's move on.
I'm amazed at how far you've come in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, well, I've taken a lot of no's for an answer.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. How are things going, man? I'm so proud of you and so excited.
Thanks, man.
It was such a cool thing to hear. There's only a couple comics that I watch nowadays, dude. I listen to Bill Burr's podcast. I'll watch a little bit of Reggie Watts videos because he's just creative and interesting, and he's just got that vibe where you just want to hug the motherfucker. It's pretty much just Bill Burr, Reggie, and I listen to Rogan's podcast, and I watch Andrew Schulz's videos. And I was like, I show my wife, I show other realtors, I show other friends. I'm like, if you guys think that comedy's dead or people are scared to be honest or that you have to pick a side politically to have an identity nowadays, check this guy out. He's just a true, honest, what do you call it? Like a comedian that's just like genuine, right? Like he's a human being. Yeah. So he's like, he's going to do the same thing that I do. It's like, I'm going to make fun of extremists all over the place, right?
Right.
And you feel lonely about that in our society right now, especially with our social medias of everyone just jumping on these sides and being vicious, foaming at the mouth. And then you see a comedian like him that's like, he's doing that. So I was excited to share his stuff. And everyone I've shared it with has been like, yeah, this guy is amazing. And then I'm watching it one day, dude. And he goes, my amazing writer, ROBBY SLOWIK. And I was like, I literally was at my laptop or on my phone, and I was like hitting the pause key, like, did you just say Robbie? Like, what? And I told my wife too. I was like, babe, my Schultz, the guy who was showing you his videos and blah blah blah. I was like, I think Robbie works on that show. And then I asked you, and you're like, I was like, what the? Dude, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been working on them for almost since the start. I think they did 3 or 4 before I came on board. So I've been doing them for the last little over 2 months now. And it's been great, but it's exactly what you're saying. Our whole point is to try to get that take that the majority of people can be on board with, who are not far left or far right or whatever. It's just we're going to play this one up the middle, and we're going to kind of punch in both directions. It's really fun to do, especially for me, who's I am pretty far out left, so
far out, man.
Yeah, bro, far out. So
you write for his communist team,
basically.
He has 2 different tables.
Him and Mark, the other writer, they're definitely further right than me. They're like right of center. They're not like right wing, but they're definitely like just a hair right of center, you know. And then I kind of like try to rein them back into my direction a bit, and we end up with this, you know, centrist kind of take.
It's so okay. First of all, you're in a writer's room with two people that don't necessarily have the exact same opinion as you. Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's amazing, right?
These people they're right of where you are politically, and you're not calling them a Nazi and freaking out. I mean, I'm sure you're right when you're joking around in the room, but
yeah, oh for sure in the room, yeah. But like, yeah, no, it's crazy that it's like, well, I just think like Twitter has really like broken people's brains. You know, like every conversation you have on there is performative by nature, right? Because people can like watch and follow along and join in, and people take it so far as to like have entire conversations only quote tweeting the other person. So it's like,
oh, weird.
It's made as a spectator sport. And because of that, everyone's looking to score points and no one's looking to communicate. And that's just like crossed over into every facet of communication.
It's spilled out into like the mainstream world to where the news exploits both sides now and shows each side the worst of the other side and says, see, look who we're up against. Both news, like if you watch CNN or Fox, they both go, look how crazy this other side is. And then it normalizes that within those sides to be like, oh my God, honey, like the conservatives cocking his shotgun going like, the communists are right outside our door. And the liberals are over there going like, the Nazis are here. They're here to murder all of us. They want to kill all of us and ruin all of our lives. And everything they say is a word of violence. And you're like, okay, guys, both of you, you're right. Twitter has ruined the fact that people go outside, take a deep breath and go talk to some people and stop being
to someone.
Self-hating humans, just bitter, self-hating humans. Like humans are mostly pretty decent. And we have to keep communicating. If people are being peaceful and diplomatic, take a deep breath and realize that crazy liberal over there that you think is just a total freaking insane person and hysterical just wants to live in a nice, happy world. And they want their kids to not be, you know, in a world where people are racist and mean and blah, 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 blah. And that conservative over there that you think is just, he wants to lynch you or whatever the hell you think you, just take a deep breath and realize that guy or girl has just a different view of how they think they could also live in a nice, everyone wants to live in a world where they're just like, their kids are safe and there's not war and everyone's happy. It's just that it's a giant maze we're all going through trying to navigate like how to get there. It's not easy to see.
There are some outliers, right? Like, but there are probably, just 20% of people are just garbage. That's just what it is. Be they extremely like right wing or extremely left wing or whatever, but they're just trash people, and there's no saving humans. Them. Then there's 80% of people that are just like, they all do want essentially the same thing, you know? They just want to feel like safe. They want to know that their family's taken care of. They want to have their like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs met.
Totally.
And they have different ideas about how to achieve that, but they ultimately they want the same thing.
And to take a deep breath and acknowledge that, my philosophy is like, hey, if you are a diplomatic human being, we can sit down and talk, and we can even be friends and put certain stuff aside. And that's why I've talked to anti-Semites before as a Jew and been like, okay, let's discuss this, you know? And that's why I love Daryl. I forgot his last name, Daryl, the musician that met all the KKK people. And he's like, I'm fascinated by why they don't like me. They don't know me because I'm black. And I'm like, oh, that guy's gold. Like if we had a billion of him in the world, it's like everyone would just be talking and learning. And we'd still have that small group of people that were like alienated and crazy and racist and homophobic and mean and whatnot. But the rest of us would be like, oh, let's figure out. Let's just continue talking. And I have faith when I watch people like Schulz, where I go, okay, like there are other people out there that instead of looking at people by their skin color or the logo on their shirt, they go, we're all just like these beings. And if you're not coming at me trying to physically harm me or my, the innocent, then we can talk. Even if you have crazy different views, we can talk. And that's like, to me, the foundation of a civilized society, which is why I want people to continue. Hey, we can talk. Like,
we can communicate. It doesn't, it doesn't have to resort like immediately to, name calling and just like taking arguments in bad faith and on both sides. Just we can have a conversation.
Oh, dude, the bad faith is another huge thing. And I think it's so important for people. My friend's wife just wrote this article. I think that they're probably like, I want to say they're probably Christians, but they wrote an article about grace. And it's like, dude, like there's just so much about just like giving people the benefit of the doubt. Like when it comes to grace, like just act with grace, like, and just like if someone says something, like,
Yes.
don't assume that they're trying to ruin your life or that they're bad. Assume that you might have heard it wrong, and go over it again and find out why. Maybe and engage more with them and say, hey, I'm just curious. Oh, okay.
Right.
And then find out they're an asshole. Don't assume that they just became an asshole because there is a soul in there that accidentally became an asshole, maybe, or I don't know. I'm talking
Right.
at my toughest, but you get what I'm saying. Like have some grace and give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. It just makes life better for everyone when you're having those like discussions. You make progress with discussions. You don't make any progress by getting deeply more entrenched in your beliefs.
How have you guys been as far as you and Casey? Like, is it just the two of you, or do you have a roommate?
We still with Amy. Do you remember?
We still live with Amy. Okay, cool.
Right? Yeah.
Of course I do.
Yeah. So,
do you remember Amy? Yeah, dude. I'll never forget any of you guys. You guys, it's the LA crew.
So yeah, we're good, man. It's been like, we don't have, it's New York City, so we don't have any outdoor space at all. That's not, like public. So, that's been a little bit like, we wish we had like a balcony or backyard or something, but it's been good other than that. New York living is just kind of tight quarters anyway. And we're lucky. We live like a 2-minute walk from the river. So there's like a beautiful state park right there along the river. And so we can take like walks and stuff, and it's been nice.
And you're able to keep somewhat distant, like when you're doing that?
Yeah, distant enough out by the water. You can stay 6 feet apart from people. We got a car, so we could escape the city every now and then. So we've been going on like hikes and stuff like that, which has been amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great, man. I'm stoked. Well, now we're since I guess we were competing with you guys for coronavirus cases, we're kicking your ass.
You guys are the winners now. Yeah. We took an early lead, but you guys came from behind and really capitalized.
I was listening to a real estate investing podcast yesterday, and this guy was talking about it, and he's like, they're asking like, where are you right now? And he's like, well, I'm in California right now, just waiting for things to blow over because New York's crazy. And I found out that the podcast was recorded in June, so I was like, whoo! So this podcast was recorded a couple months ago. And he's like, I left New York, my city, because I wanted to wait it out in California.
Totally, them numbers, they be climbing.
What are you most like pessimistic versus optimistic?
Downside is that like just a lot of great small businesses are not going to survive this. Like New York City, especially, like rents are just so absurdly high and overheads are high. So little mom and pop shops and little bars and cafes that don't have like big corporate backing behind them, like this is a tough thing to survive. Sure, there's all these like low rate loans for them now, but you still like losing 12 to 18 months of operating costs and then having to like absorb that and pay that debt off moving forward is
almost impossible.
A lot of these. Yeah, they're just not going to be able to recover from it. And that's going to like drive New York even further into like every business is a CVS or a Chase Bank because they're the only ones who can survive this type of thing.
I remember Judith Freelander talking about that. I think him and David Tell both talking about that in podcasts over the past few years, like how much of the mom and pop stuff has already been gone in New York. And then then now this. Do you think that those businesses, to dig in a little bit more what you're saying, do you think that like the next 28-year-old that she just got out of culinary school, do you think she'll be able to open her restaurant now, and so it'll just be a birth of new flowers popping up then? So sadly we're gonna die. I wish I
could be optimistic like that, but I don't know, because I think this is also going to impact like the way banks like lend and stuff for a little while, because they're probably going to be geared much more towards like safer, sure bet things in the immediate future to like
female comedians OnlyFans.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, they're fucking. That's how lucky they are to just have that revenue stream. God bless them. I wish I was better looking.
Dude, my buddy Randall used to tell me that. He's like, you could do one of those OnlyFans. He was gay. Well, he was gay. I think he's more gay now.
He still is.
He moved to Austin, but he used to tell me, we used to work at the same tattoo shop, and he used to tell me, he's like, you could do one of those, like, it was before OnlyFans, but like one of those like chatterbait things to make some money. And I was just like, I was so broke. I was a broke comedian, and I was like working one day a week at this tattoo shop, and I was like, Maybe I would put like a bag over my head, make some sort of character for a couple $100 a day.
Make some sort of character.
Dude, 'cause there's those POV porn dudes. It's
Look,
like,
if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put my face on it. I want people to know. I want people to see the whole package. I don't want to be able to distance myself from it. I want it known that I was the guy who jacked off for money online.
Well,
I'm not far away from there.
There's enough for both of us then. So you can be that guy, and I'll be the mask dude. I'll wear the Jason mask or whatever. Friday the 13th or whatever.
Should we do it as a duo?
We probably could make more that way, right?
Yeah, for sure. People are going to want to see some guy with a bag over his head jerking off next to a guy with no bag over his head. That's a fetish, I'm sure.
It'd actually be really funny if it was you and me and we were comedic about it and we were like fist bumping. We're like, oh, we're not gay. We're not doing anything gay, but we'll jack off next to each other. We'll have like a wall between us, you know?
Social distancing divider.
Yeah, plexiglass.
Yeah.
A tinted plexiglass.
Uh-huh.
If you could make a good living at that, dude, could you really hate on anybody for like the?
No, I absolutely
Amazing.
not. If you have anything that you can commoditize, if you can take pictures of your feet and people want to pay you for those, God bless you. Get those pictures out there.
God bless you and your beautiful pods, bro. Oh, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you most optimistic about?
I am optimistic. Well, I think that I do think that like New York especially has just been, it's a complete bubble. Like rent prices and stuff, they're absurd. They're through the roof. Nothing is affordable. And I do think this will kind of help level set. This will bring things down to something a little bit more realistic, at least in the short term, which I think will encourage people to come back to the city. You know, the city's lost over 600,000 people. They've like left the city.
Can you feel that though? Like when you're outside, can you feel that? I mean, it's not enough, right? They need to lose like.
You feel it in the traffic, but that's also a function of people working from home as well.
Yeah.
And the trains, just by nature of like a pandemic, people are doing their best to avoid trains. So whenever you have to take one, like the subways are like almost empty. So you definitely feel that, but that's more pandemic related than like the fact that people are gone. But I think as like there's some normalcy returning, we will feel that, you know, it's a little less crowded.
That sounds great though, because that was one of my favorite things when I went to Seattle. My wife and I went to Seattle for our honeymoon, and I was like, "Whoa, it's like New York if they had room for us." Like it feels
exactly
so cool. So you're optimistic that the prices will come down a little bit and it'll draw in once everyone gets over what we're going through right now. Hopefully they'll start coming back.
And hopefully we'll help like new businesses come in, because commercial real estate is fucked.
Oh yeah, that's all they talk about in all the investing podcasts too. They're like, dude, if you own any retail stuff, this is like horrifying time for you. If all of your money is in that.
Brutal. I mean, so many offices are just like being like, we're going to work from home indefinitely. Especially like, there's an office I was working at in New York was the like rent on that place was $300,000 a month. And they just shuttered it. They were just like, we're taking these 200 New York based employees and they're just going to work from home. So that's what, 3.6 million in revenue, you know, just gone for whoever was the holder of that. And they're probably holding commercial real estate all over the city. And this is probably happening to like at least half, if not more, of their clients.
Wild. And then I wonder what they're going to do. They're going to ask for a bailout or whatever or something. I mean, it's going to be crazy in the next year with those spaces.
Yeah. Ultimately, whatever happens, like everyone who's already rich will stay rich and get bailed out in some way, and everyone who's not will continue to get fucked.
I know. I was so bummed that they didn't listen to Mark Cuban. Apparently, was at like the round table when they were discussing what they were going to do with their stimulus, and they didn't take it. He talked about it on the Altitude Report. They didn't take any of his tips on like what he wanted to do. They were like, nope. So and like if you listen to him discuss what he wanted to do, you're like, this is a logical, smart dude, you know, that has a plan for it. And he's like, if you just give every American like $20,000, they'll pay their mortgages, they'll pay their rents, they'll pay their credit cards, they'll do all this stuff for the most part. And so you won't have any worry, and then you won't have to bail any of these businesses out. They're like, no, we'll just give the money directly to the businesses. And you're like,
That's always the way it is. It's so fucking absurd. It makes me insane because, like the myth of trickle down economics of like, if you give rich people money, it trickles down. It's disgusting like language anyway, but like it doesn't because they have wealth. So they hold the wealth. They don't do anything.
There's a great Greg Fitzsimmons bit about it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He has a great bit, like a 10-year-old bit, maybe more than that now, but yeah, it's,
but if you give poor people money, they spend it immediately. They're impacting the economy. They're buying stuff from each other's business. Like it's just, it makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's very weird that it's overlooked to do that because, I'm trying to stay humble with it too because I'm like, maybe I'm not understanding something about it because I really don't understand economics. And when I listen to people talk about it, first of all, it's such a complicated subject that you can listen to two people. It's like a conspiracy theorist. You can listen to two people have the same information, same plot points on their map, but come up with completely different explanations and routes to go. And they both make perfect sense to me as the layman listening to it. Like, I listen to both of you guys. And if I was alone in a room with either one of you, I'd sign on the dotted line.
Right.
And I think economics is just so hard to grasp, even for the people doing it. I've gone to economic forums. I've been to lectures by economists and have been like, they had 6 different people get up and talk and they all had different theories and they all made perfect sense with all their data.
Right.
And
yeah.
So I might be missing something, but from just a simple, my knuckle dragger caveman, what do you call it? The humble Joe Rogan podcaster. I'm a dummy. I don't know anything. So the only safe direction to come from is I don't know anything. And I just think that just give the money to the bottom and it'll trickle up. No problem. It'll end up right back in Amazon's pockets, in all the power companies' pockets, in the commercial real estate and they were just like,
okay. Immediately. Like even the old, the Chappelle Show sketch with reparations.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was like, that was essentially the same point. It was like, if you hand out this money, it will immediately go back into the economy.
Yep. Well, I mean, even with that, I'm optimistic just that, as Americans, as just modern humans, I'm like, we'll get through this. Those of us that want to, we'll figure out our way. And, those of us that are privileged enough and lucky enough, we'll continue to forge forward. And I'm excited about some of the treatments, the little drugs that have come out and the things that they're doing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to get through this, guys. It's going to be different.
They're working on it. We will get through it. And time is unstoppable. It will keep moving forward and we'll keep moving forward with it as long as we can.
What are your plans? What do you want to do before we get to your fantasy house? I just want to know more about your plans and what you're stoked on.
Just what for the future?
Yeah, like getting through the pandemic and then after the pandemic. Like we got to think we got to look far away and see what's up in 5 years.
Well, like outdoor stand-up shows have started to pop up.
Yeah,
around
super.
So it's been fun to start performing again in these kind of outdoor social distanced scenarios. I have to start writing stand-up again though, because there was no reason to for the past 4 months, because you can't to write it without being able to perform it. It just doesn't work. So I'm excited to start performing more, and I'm excited for the show I'm working on with Schulz. I think that's got the potential to really grow and go big. It's getting it's exceeding all of our expectations already.
Yeah.
And it can hopefully become kind of a full-time major thing.
Oh God, I hope so. It needs to be. When I watch it, I'm like, this is better than, and I love Rachel Maddow or Bill Maher or whatever, but I'm like, this is better than any of those shows. He does it so well. The writing, hint, is so killer. Is it exciting for you when you see it? When you see the episode come out, you're like, dude, that was mine, or that was my idea that stemmed into that, or.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, I'm there for the whole thing. I'm there when we film them as well. So it's just, it really is a team effort. So many of the jokes are I can't even take credit for it, because it's I said one thing that was then added to, and it
totally
ends at this three-headed beast. So
it's a great team though if it's doing that.
Yeah, we're working well together, and it's just we really take packing it with jokes seriously. We try to have the most joke dense monologue out there, and I think we achieve that.
You really do, and I love the organic. I don't know if I want to say it organic. That feel of I know that what's coming at the end, the money shot of sentimental communication. For me, I love that because I want to laugh my ass off, but I want to think like it's all combined. So the soup of you guys all putting all these things together is like the meal that I'm like grubbing down on all these laughters and all these great points and the funny points and the way that they're presented, and then knowing like the climax, the at the end that slice of cheesecake, since you're in New York,
Right.
it is going to be a sentimental like note message is like so money. And you guys have to, it has to be a show or it just has to be a show that you guys are in full control of that just ends up getting 20 million views per episode on YouTube, which is better than even the networks can do, whatever it is.
Right.
The world.
Yeah. I'll take either version of that, but,
it's
it's a lot of work though. So it's like, we do want it to like, it also needs to be monetized at some point because we're putting crazy hours into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have all the faith in you guys, and I feel like I'm talking to the what do you call it, like a writers for SNL or The Simpsons, like when it was like just the very beginning, and they're like, we don't know what's gonna happen. We've got 3 more episodes, or you think they're gonna cancel us? And
Right. Well, I hope
20 years later, you're like, you guys
that.
are like the best thing that ever happened. So I'm very excited for you guys. I'm very proud of you. So keep on rocking.
Thank you, man.
Now, in the meantime, if we were flying an orange drone over your fantasy house, what's the geographic location and what are we looking at? What's the shapes and colors of this house?
Okay, so I think for me, I'm pretty committed to life in New York City. So I'm going New York City for this house.
Great.
So that's step one. Now, just about everything here is condos and apartments, and so there's not like a ton of freestanding houses except like brownstones, which are those like 3-story townhomes that are like $20 million or something absurd.
So
so what I would go for, there's actually one like specific place in New York that has this, where it's probably like a 3rd floor apartment, but then on the rooftop they've built what looks like a freestanding little like cabin. So it's like basically like a house on the roof. And then you live on, so you have the top floor, basically a penthouse apartment. And then above it, there's basically a house that you might find in the suburbs.
I love it. I've seen one of those houses before too in New York. I love that. It's so rad.
Yes. So I think that's what I'm going for. I'm not, I don't think anything over like, I kind of feel like 3,000 square feet is the max square feet for anyone, and anything above that, we're starting to get obscene.
Totally. That's a great amount of space, though.
That is great for New York. That's unheard of. 3,000 square feet. You're fucking Rockefeller in New York,
dude. James Altucher, on one of his podcasts, someone asked him, and he said he lives he moved. He's in Florida now, but he lived in New York and had. This is just a few months ago. It was $15,000 a month for a 3,000 square foot, like 4-bedroom or whatever.
Yes,
$15,000 bucks a month. That's $80,000 a year, just for the rent. But getting back to
getting back to my I'm in a penthouse. For New York, I guess we should probably say the elevator opens right into the apartment.
Good.
So you step in. I like a big kitchen. This pandemic has really got me into cooking. Never had time. I was doing stand up every night.
Totally.
So wasn't cooking ever, like eating on the run. And now I've been cooking like regularly and I love it.
What have you been cooking mostly? What are you going to cook for us in your fantasy house?
Like a Beyond Meat shepherd's pie I'll throw together. Beyond Meat stuffed peppers. The more I was cooking, like the more advanced I tried to get with stuff. So I found I was making like coq au vin, like French chicken dishes and stuff. And it's been really fun.
So if we were having a meal in your fantasy house kitchen, what would we eat? What would you be cooking for the film crews there and we're like showing off?
Then I think I am going something fancy like a coq au vin. Even saying it is classy, huh?
It sounds like I think famous rappers.
I think it just means chicken. It just means chicken and wine. I think in French. But
what kind of wine? Like white wine?
White wine. Yeah, like a white wine sauce. A reduction, if you will.
I will. Whatever you say. I used to love to say, if you will. Then I'd be like, will you?
Will you?
Stupid. I'll have some chicken and some white wine sauce. Okay, cool. That sounds delicious. Are we cooking with it?
I would like a kitchen that is. I in general, I really like open floor plan stuff, but I'm more like with that much space, then I would like a big freestanding kitchen that then has its own dining table in the kitchen. So like a dine-in kitchen. I like that. I like the kitchen as a place where people can hang out in a house. I think it one version of that is the open floor plan where it's on the living room, whatever. But I also just kind of like a separate kitchen with some seating in it, a dinner table there, an island, and a place to kind of hang.
Love it. A nice what kind of countertops in there if I'm visualizing what you're showing us.
I'm going granite.
I'm going granite. Don't take it for granted. Oh. We can both have cowboy hats on, but we're naked from the waist down. I'm going granite.
This is going to be on our OnlyFans.
This is our OnlyFans. The Granite Boys.
The Granite Boys are back again. We're doing it for we're making $18 a month off of it. It's gonna pick up. People are gonna see it.
You're not quitting your writing job. I'm not quitting real estate. We can experiment with it and see what happens. What color granite? Dark granite, light granite?
Like a gray, a darkish gray. In some ways I like that brushed concrete.
Okay, yeah.
On stuff.
Very modern.
So, yeah, maybe that type of a color to it. I don't want stainless steel. I'm good with for appliances. One thing I actually kind of hate that's a trend in very nice upscale houses is a refrigerator that looks like it's a cabinet.
Oh, it's the finished cabinetry on top. Yeah. Oh.
Can't stand that. Don't like that. I want a fridge to look like a fridge. No surprises.
Can you have a picture in your kitchen that has that and it crossed out and it's framed and it's up on the wall in there?
Yes, I'm very passionate about this.
This is not how a fridge should look. And then it has an arrow.
I take fridge should look like a fridge. I guess I'm very conservative when it comes to fridges.
That's all right. No,
I don't like these new age fridges trying to pretend, trying to transition into being cabinets. You were born a fridge.
They can't even tell you what kind of fridge it is. What is it? Did I call it the wrong kind of fridge? Okay.
You can't even mislabel fridges anymore.
Okay, so where do we go to the bathroom?
No bathroom. In my house. It's you hold it.
That's the best, dude. Excuse me, where's the restroom? It's someone else's house. That's where it's at.
Didn't have one. Yeah, get
nowhere to go.
Get out. You're disgusting. You're disgusting for asking me.
You pretentious asshole. I love it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have a bathroom in the master bedroom. And then we'll have a master bedroom.
Let's go to the master bedroom.
Yeah, let's do that. Master bedroom. We're going to look at a room that's probably we're talking 15 by 15, good size room.
Okay.
Then we're going to want a walk-in closet. Despite the fact that all of my clothes are, I just find one thing I like and then buy it in every color that they make it in. So I have the same 8 pairs of Levi's and all of my shirts are from Target. Yeah.
That's another great song. It's all my exes live in Texas. All my shorts are from Target.
Yeah, it's
Susie and Wrangler is all I wear.
That's actually a good tune.
Oh, dude, I could listen to that all day.
And I would. So a little walk-in closet for that. I think Casey's gonna probably, she would take on most of the walk-in closet. Wait, this is a fantasy house. Do I get a fantasy wife as well, or I keep my actual wife?
Well, dude, you can. First of all, you can have anything you want. It's a fantasy house. Nothing has to be based in our reality. So yes, you can keep your actual wife. You can have. Remember Upright Citizens Brigade? They had the hot chicks room in that one house at the realtor.
Yes, the hot chicks. I don't think we need a hot chicks room.
Yeah, you're so glad about the microwave, and we use that darn thing all the time. Yeah. No, you can have whoever you want. This is all about your own fantasies, sexually, food, bathrooms, anything you want, anything you're coming up with.
Okay, perfect. Well, out of sheer loyalty, I'm going to keep my current wife.
You can always tell your podcast guest's significant other is in the room when you're recording.
But no, I will. I will have another room for my side chick, obviously. You know, so there'll be a side chick guest room, and Casey she'll be cool with it if she can have a side dude room as well. So this is a 3-bedroom house. It turns out,
Dude.
and our future children will they can just kind of crash in the living room, I guess. Because the other 2 bedrooms that should be theirs will be occupied by our lovers, apparently.
They sound more like concubines if they have to stay in these rooms. They'll be stuck in
Yes, well, I mean, we take their passport when they get here, so they don't have a lot of options.
Oh, dude.
And then for a living room, I'm suddenly like into that like 1960s, 1950s, the sunken living room.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You don't really see that ever anyway. I mean, you might. You're in a bunch of houses, so you might, but like it's like pretty rare these days, right?
It's still rare these days. No, you're right. And there's a couple like so we have like custom homes up in the hill, like in Azusa and Glendora, and those have that. Obviously, if you start making your way into like the Hollywood Hills, you're going to have that in some of the houses. But it's not even popular in like modern custom homes very much. But I love them as well. I love atomic era stuff.
Yeah,
like the weird, like just like. That extra depth, especially when I was a kid, when you go to somebody's house that has that, always was like, it's something inspiring about it. Like your imagination, especially if you're on the ground playing with toys, your G.I. Joes, and you have the where it drops down. So cool. So you're going to have that.
Totally. Yes. Yeah. I want the sunken living room for sure.
What do the cushions look like on this sunken living room couch?
We're going to go. God, what is wrong with me? Every time like you ask a color, I'm just like light gray, that's like just the most boring answer imaginable.
You can't do that, you fucking communist. No, it's light gray. Gray countertops, gray walls, and everything from the Holocaust Museum all around me at all times.
The couch is also granite.
It's granite. There's a pile of cement shoes that you can look at.
It's important to never be too comfortable.
Actually, it's hilarious. If you're like, this is the stoic room. It's to train you. Life is tough.
Yeah.
This couch is soft.
Get used to it. Yeah.
There's no air conditioning or heat in here. You'll get used to whatever temperature it is.
But for whatever reason, like I do find like a heather gray and white kind of soothing.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
So I'm going to say heather gray with some colorful pillows, though.
There you go. See, if you accent things with some color there, like I have gray walls upstairs, and I have extremely colorful paintings everywhere. And I feel like if we didn't have that, it'd be kind of depressing. But it's like we have almost all the photography's color, all the paintings super colorful. We have colorful rugs that my wife bought. It's like, so it's fine. You can have your gray.
That's what I like as well. Yeah, colorful rugs for sure.
Okay. What color?
We'll do that whole thing. Colorful, full of colors.
Oh, dude. He just checks the box. Color. I said colorful. Now what's the next question?
They will all be represented. All the colors will be there. Then I would like, there's a part of me that as an adult, there's a thing I would never actually do, but I feel like to satisfy the teenager in me, I would like a room that is just like a kind of like a Moroccan, like beanbag and hookah. Like this is if we're going to get high with a bunch of people and just bullshit, like this is the room for that.
That's great. That's
so
one of the cheapest things you've mentioned that you can afford to have even in reality.
I could do that one right now.
You could do that one. Yeah, that's so cool. A couple grand and you could just put that thing together. You work off a couple pictures, some harem pictures. Yeah. Just Google harem, and
I always do every morning.
Make sure safe search is off. Make sure you're at work or in public, and you'll be able to. You can build this.
But a room like that's pretty chilled out. Somewhere I could work out, maybe throw a couple like a heavy punching bag, maybe some mats for some rolling around.
What we do? Yeah, if you were showing us that on the show right now, you're like, all right, John, now we're showing you the workout room. Like, what will we do together?
We'd do a little jujitsu, you and I.
Do you know jujitsu?
I used to be heavy into it, like way before it became the popular thing. Like I got my blue belt back in 2006.
Oh, wow. You're old school. That's professional.
And then maybe like 2007, but right around there. And then shortly after, like I moved to LA, and then I was just doing stand up every night and working a full-time job in the day. So I just didn't have time to train anymore. and I miss
It's crazy
it.
how everybody's expected to be skinny and healthy in LA, yet working out is one of the most physically pain in the ass things to do. You have to schedule time to go anywhere. It takes an hour to get to the gym, park your car, deal with all the struggles and the schlepping. And it's like,
Totally.
but I thought that I have to look my best here, yet there's nothing but amazing restaurants and tons of gluttonous foods to spoil myself with, and it's hard to work out.
Yeah, the only way to get in shape in LA is to get cast in a Marvel movie. That's it. That's your only option. And then they'll send you a trainer and the meals, and they'll make it your life. Anything outside of that, it's not possible.
It really isn't. It really isn't. I was definitely at my unhealthiest as a stand-up. And you eat your sorrows all the time. It's 4 a.m. and you're like, all right, time to go out for a torta.
For sure. Yeah. It's in New York where it's like there's just always 24-hour diners by every comedy venue. So you're just having pancakes at 3 a.m.
The last time we ate together was at a diner. You love your diners.
I love diners. Diners are my absolute favorite things in the world.
I love diners.
It's the most.
Is there a diner in your fantasy house?
Oh God, that's a great idea. There should be. I just don't know if I can handle the payroll of keeping like a sassy waitress named Dot on retainer, but I would like to. You know, someone
could be a robot, Robbie. It's all tech that you have access to all tech ever that you can think of. She could be a robot.
I don't want that. I don't want that Westworld in my house. I want Dot. I want a real lady. And I also want to be the type of guy who says stuff like, like cup of Joe, let me get a cup of Joe, Dot, unleaded or whatever, which I'm not. I'm absolutely not that guy. I have no personality when it comes to like interacting with waiters and waitresses or whatever. I'm just like, this is what I would like. Please bring it. Thank you.
Yeah, you never are rude enough to try to humor a stranger like a waiter. Like I'm the guy that's like the dad joker that's like just trying to just wordplay and stupid stuff and having the waiter look back like, yeah, what do you want? And you're like,
please tell me what you want. Yeah. And whereas all of my interactions are just ice cold business. There's no small talk. There's no inviting smile. There's just like, which is why New York diners are fucking great, because it's usually like some often Mexican, often just from somewhere unplaceable, who just comes up and like looks at you, doesn't even say anything, and you just tell him what you want. He doesn't write anything down. He nods and then he just brings it back, and you're like, perfect. This was the ideal interaction.
I would go nuts if I was in New York as far as eating diners late night. I would, because I could always do corned beef Cantor style, like just getting stuffed peppers, or getting when I'm not worried about carbs and it's the middle of the night and I just want French fries and ranch and a Reuben. I haven't been in New York in like 10 years, but man, pizza.
I think Cantor's is the best diner in LA, to me anyway. My other favorite LA diner is House of Pies. Oh,
dude, that was one of
just the best pancakes in LA. I'm saying it.
I love pancakes. Dude, there's a lot of good pancakes. LA's got some good. Dupar's has great pancakes at the Grove.
Dupar's does have good pancakes, really pancakes.
So, getting back to your fantasy house, is there anything else there that we need to see? Is there any other room we need to go to? Is there a yard? Do you have? I mean, we're working out. You just whip my ass in jiu-jitsu because I know nothing. I know Jewish jitsu, which is get the hell away from me.
I know that one too. I've been highly trained in that one.
That's right, Mom.
Yeah, so up top on the roof where we've got like the more traditional house looking thing, then we've probably got like an astroturfed lawn out there with some lawn games. We got a grill with a little outdoor kitchen.
Like fully traditional Americana, like suburb.
Yes, totally. But let's get a little brick oven up there so we can make some brick oven pizzas on the roof as well.
What's going on those pizzas? What are we eating on them?
We're gonna go. I like an onion. I like a green pepper.
I like an onion. I like a green pepper.
Black olive. But here's something I like on pizza, which is a rarity in this country at least, is little corn. You get a little corn on that pizza. Yes, it's amazing.
I have not had that. I've had egg on pizza. I love anchovies.
Have corn on pizza. It's fucking amazing.
Are you ready for the corn pizza? It's just got like actual like corn,
little yellow corn. Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll try it.
And then everything is decked out tech wise. I'm gonna have like the 85-inch OLED TV. We've got the Sonos all over the house. We're gonna do all that stuff too.
Super sweet.
Music all around the house is important to me.
What would you show us if you're like, check it out, music everywhere, and you hit the button? What are we listening to?
We're listening to
My shorts are from Target.
Yeah. We're listening to the Target All My Shorts song.
Oh, dude, I laugh at my own stupid riff. You know you're a stand-up that needs to get on stage when you're just sitting in your own podcast. You're like, I like that joke. Which one? The one I just made.
The one I just told.
You just hang your head down. Oh, dude. You bring out the good riffs, dude.
That's what I'm here to do.
I'm scared of not riffing well when I'm in front of you. I'm like, this riff better pay off.
No, they're great riffs. You still have one of my favorite all-time jokes. I still like quote it all the time. I tell people about it. In fact, I think I actually talked about it with Schulz 2 weeks ago because it was relevant to something.
Can you just give me a hint on what it is?
Yeah, it's I had to have the awkward conversation with my parents.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
That joke is one of the best. I mean, because the turn on it is just so it's just such a funny turn. The initial premise is haha, that's funny, a misdirect. But then the turn when it gets to the it's amazing. It's it's a perfect joke.
Yeah, that's all I need. Well, day is made, week is made. Very kind of you to say. Thank you for keeping that. What is it? That flame stoked. What's your favorite of your stuff right now?
I'm actually. I just last night in bed. I turned to Kate. I had taken an edible and I was a little bit high. I just turned. I was like, does anyone have a joke about how pathetic it is to be a stand-up comedian? And that's legitimately well, now I just kind of have, because I feel like if you ask because it is. There's just something inherent. It's so pathetic to look at me, look what I did, look at the funny thing. But so it's
funny.
have you ever, if you just address a crowd with have you ever had a funny thought before? And yeah, they have, because everyone has had funny thoughts.
Totally.
Have you ever had a funny thought and thought everyone needs to hear this?
Totally. There's something super attention whore about it, dude. I'm so with you.
Yes.
Why did I think people that I needed to tell these people? But is it us that we need to connect, be validated and feel like we're part of the tribe, so that have to say the stuff to be do you guys still like me after I said that?
Yeah, to some degree. I don't know, but there is an element of narcissism. There's an element of insecurity.
Oh, for sure.
All of this stuff is tied in together, but it is an absurd thing to be I thought of something funny and I want to tell everybody. And I want to just keep telling them over and over and over again.
It's quite a rush when it works, and you're it's like a sex move. Where you're that one really did wonders. I'm gonna see if this works on everyone I ever interact with again.
Yeah, no, it isn't amazing. It's an odd feeling, and the more you do it, the better you get. And it's weird when one day you can you're having a set and you're legitimately killing, and you can step outside yourself for a second to be oh, this is happening. I'm here in a room Saturday night, New York City, 9:30 at an A club, and I'm killing in this moment.
Oh.
And you're this is the thing. This is the thing that I worked towards, and now I'm doing it with a level of, I don't want to say effortlessly, but I'm doing the thing I dreamed about doing. So there's that, but then there's wrestling with how narcissistic and gross the dream is in the first place.
Well, that's the beauty of being honest, and every human can benefit from that. Being honest with the fact that you're I'm kind of a self-centered, narcissistic attention whore that is doing this thing that doesn't necessarily need to be done, but I'm doing it. And then you're
doing it.
It does kind of need to be done, right? What would the world be like without Carlin? And then you're but also I really just want to do this too. And
right. Yeah. And I don't think for one second that I'm Hicks or Carlin or I'm not.
You can't think that about yourself. Your friends have to think that for you. Be that Robbie? He's got a little Carlin in them.
A very little bit. Trace amounts.
Can they do butt plugs that I have? Dude, if they had butt plugs
George Carlin's had famous people's heads on them.
Dude, that'd be so rad. Be he's got a little Carlin in him.
All right, we got a business idea here.
Dude, we've got a lot of
little bit of cash.
Sexual business ideas. All
that could be the name of our company.
Ideas are perverse.
Shefsky and Slovik's weird sexual business ideas.
.com. Dude, thank you so much for giving us an awesome tour of your fantasy house. It was so much fun.
This was great, man. It was so nice chatting. I miss seeing you. Hopefully when the world is we're able to travel again, I'll be out in LA soon and we can hang.
Please come hang, and we'll go out and we'll do a diner.
You and me, House of Pies.
House of Pies.
2 forks, 1 stack of cakes.
Dude, I am so into it. I'm so into it. I feel like a hashtag blessed guest. Guys, if this is your first time, where do you want people to look you up? What's the best way? What's your favorite social?
I'm on Twitter more than is healthy.
Okay.
At Robby Slowik, ROBBY SLOWIK, and I'm that on Instagram and every other social media thing as well.
Oh, beautiful. Guys, look up Robby Slowik on there and pay him some love. You will not be disappointed. He's hilarious and thoughtful. And it's going to be a good time. If this is your first time listening to Fantasy House, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Maybe even think about giving us a review right now. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 stars, whatever you feel. Whatever it is, it's just very important to me that we get reviews on there. And I'm so grateful for the reviews we already have. And that way, when people actually look up this podcast, they'll be able to see like, oh, this has got a lot of good reviews. Right now, I want to say we were in the 40s or 50s, and they're mostly 5 stars, and they're really, some of them are funny, and some of them are sweet, and all of them, they're all just, they mean the world to me when you guys do it. So go ahead, give us a review, hit the subscribe button. If you've been listening for a while, could you do me a favor? Hit the share button. Just send this to one person that you know, even if you don't even know if they'll like it. Be like, Jon Shefsky said to share this, and just hit the share button and then explain it. It'll be a conversation starter for you. Who doesn't need that once in a while? Hit it up a random person, hit the share button. All right. Be silly, have fun. And thanks to all our first responders and frontline workers. What do they call them? Frontline workers, dude. Police officers, firefighters, medics, everyone that works at hospitals, not even the doctors and just nurses, like the janitors, the people that are keeping food going, that are bringing medicine back and forth to hospitals. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that are risking their life and working really hard right now to just keep society functioning. So thank you to all of you. And if you're listening and you're one of those people, hats off to you. Even if you don't want to be doing it, you're like, fuck you, I ain't no hero. Well, you're my hero. All right, be silly, have fun.